little girl named Ji-eun has always been able to see things that normal people can't. She can see ghosts, spirits, and dead people who haven't moved on yet. Her mother has noticed this too. Then one day, something terrible happens. Ji-eun's mother suddenly dies in an accident, but when Ji-eun's birthday arrives, she comes home and finds her mother waiting for her with a birthday cake. For a moment, Ji-eun is overjoyed. It feels like her mother is still alive and everything is back to normal. But soon, Ji-eun notices that something feels wrong. The room is strangely quiet, and the atmosphere feels heavy. That's when she finally understands the truth. The woman standing in front of her isn't really alive. It's her mother's ghost. Ji-eun and her mother hold each other and cry, knowing they only have a few moments left together. Before leaving forever, her mother gives Ji-eun one final piece of advice. She tells her daughter to take care of herself. Then, her mother's spirit disappears. Ji-eun is left completely alone. She walks outside, not knowing what to do next. But suddenly, a strange man appears in front of her. His name is Wang Yo, and he isn't an ordinary man. He's the Grim Reaper, but instead of comforting the grieving girl, Wang Yo tells her something shocking. According to him, Ji-eun was never supposed to be alive in the first place. To understand what happened, we have to go back several years. Back then, Wang Yo had been sent to collect the soul of Ji-eun's mother, but there was a problem. At the time, Ji-eun's mother was pregnant with her. Before Wang Yo could take her soul, a mysterious immortal being stepped in and saved her life. Because of that intervention, Ji-eun was born. Now, years later, Wang Yo has finally found the girl who was never supposed to exist. He believes he has to fix that mistake, so he prepares to take Ji-eun's life. But just when it seems like there is nothing anyone can do, an old woman suddenly appears. She's a mysterious grandmother who seems to know far more than she should. She tells Wang Yo to stop. Then she asks him for proof that Ji-eun's time has actually come. She wants to see his official papers, but Wang Yo has nothing. He can't prove that Ji-eun is supposed to die today. With no choice, the Grim Reaper has to back down. He turns around and walks away. But before leaving, he looks at Ji-eun and gives her a warning. He promises that he'll come back for her. Many years pass. Ji-eun grows up, but her life is far from normal. She is now a lonely teenager who can still see ghosts everywhere. They follow her around, talk to her, and sometimes even try to scare her. Ji-eun does her best to ignore them. More than anything, she just wants to live like a normal girl. One evening, while walking home alone, a ghost suddenly jumps out and tries to scare her, but then something strange happens. Ji-eun notices a man walking toward her from the other end of the alley. The ghost sees him too, and instead of attacking Ji-eun, the ghost suddenly looks terrified. Then it asks her a shocking question. Are you the goblin's bride? Ji-eun doesn't understand what the ghost means, but the man walking toward her is Kim Shin. And the moment Kim Shin sees Ji-eun, something changes inside him. He doesn't know why, but he feels like there's something special about this girl, almost as if they've been brought together for a reason. To understand who Kim Shin really is, we have to go back almost 1,000 years. Long ago, Kim Shin was a powerful general. His soldiers loved and respected him, while his enemies feared him. He was also completely loyal to his young king. But the king was jealous and paranoid. He became convinced that Kim Shin was becoming too powerful and might one day turn against him, so the king decided to get rid of him. He ordered his own soldiers to attack Kim Shin's men. Many of them were killed. Even Kim Shin's beloved sister was murdered. Then Kim Shin himself was brought before the king. The king accused him of treason and ordered his death. A sword was driven straight through Kim Shin's chest, and that's how the great general died. But death wasn't the end of his story. Instead, God gave him a terrible punishment. Because Kim Shin had killed countless people during his years as a general, he was cursed to live forever. He would never grow old. He would never die, but everyone around him would. His friends, his family, and everyone he came to love would eventually disappear, leaving him alone once again. For almost 1,000 years, Kim Shin has watched the people he loves grow old and die. He has traveled from place to place, hoping that one day his endless life would finally come to an end. But there is only one person who can free him from this curse, the goblin's bride. She is the only one who can pull the sword out of his chest. Once the sword is removed, Kim Shin can finally die and escape his lonely immortal life. For centuries, Kim Shin has searched for this mysterious woman. And now, after all this time, he may have finally found her. Because standing right in front of him is Ji-eun, a lonely teenage girl who may be the goblin's bride he's been waiting for all these years. But Ji-eun's life is far from happy. Her mother is gone and she has been sent to live with a foster family. Instead of taking care of her, they treat her badly. They yell at her, make her do things around the house, and even take the little money she has. Ji-eun feels completely alone. One night, she finally reaches her limit. She goes outside and lights a candle near the water. With tears in her eyes, she makes a simple wish. She doesn't ask for anything huge. She just wants her life to have some meaning. But her wish reaches someone she never expected. Kim Shin feels it, and suddenly, he appears right in front of her. Ji-eun has no idea what just happened, but she quickly realizes that she somehow summoned a supernatural being, and she's not going to let this chance go to waste. She starts asking him for wishes. First, she wants money, then she wants to travel. She even asks him to take her to Canada. Kim Shin decides to grant a few of her wishes just to show her what he can do. In the blink of an eye, he takes her across the world and brings her back. But he quickly makes one thing clear. He's a goblin, not her personal genie. He isn't going to grant every wish she makes. Still, Kim Shin can't stop thinking about Ji-eun. There's something about this strange girl that keeps pulling him toward her. Soon, Kim Shin's life gets even more complicated. His nephew decides to rent out part of the mansion to a new tenant. And when Kim Shin finds out who the tenant is, he's not happy. It's the Grim Reaper. The two men clearly know each other from the past, and from the moment they meet, they start fighting like two people who can't stand being in the same room. They pull childish pranks on each other, mess with each other's food, and constantly try to annoy one another. Since they're both supernatural beings, even their arguments can turn into something completely ridiculous. But things become much more serious one night. Ji-eun lights a candle and makes another wish. She wishes to see Kim Shin, and when Kim Shin appears, the Grim Reaper is already there. The Reaper looks at Ji-eun and immediately recognizes her. Then he repeats the same shocking warning. She isn't supposed to be alive. The moment Kim Shin hears this, his anger becomes impossible to hide. The air around them suddenly turns cold. Dark clouds cover the sky, and the weather starts changing like a storm is coming. Kim Shin's anger is so strong that even nature seems to react to it. For the first time, Ji-eun sees just how powerful he really is. And more importantly, she realizes that Kim Shin is willing to do anything to keep her safe. But supernatural problems aren't the only danger in Ji-eun's life. Her foster mother has borrowed money from dangerous loan sharks. When they come looking for their money, the woman lies to them. So the men decide to take Ji-eun instead. One day they grab her and force her toward their car. Ji-eun is terrified and has no idea how to escape. Then she remembers something. She lights a small flame and makes a wish. She calls for Kim Shin, and this time, both Kim Shin and the Grim Reaper answer. Kim Shin arrives first and shows the men exactly what they're dealing with. With a magical blade that only he can create, he cuts their getaway car completely in half. The men are left frozen in fear. Then the Grim Reaper steps in. Instead of hurting them, he uses his power to erase and change their memories. That way, the truth about what happened will never come back to hurt Ji-eun. After seeing all of this, Ji-eun finally understands something. The two men living around her aren't normal at all. They have powers far beyond anything she could have imagined. After the attack, Ji-eun becomes even more curious about Kim Shin. She keeps thinking about the strange sword he used. So she starts asking him questions, but Kim Shin doesn't want to talk about it. He simply denies that he ever used a sword. The problem is, Ji-eun can see something that no one else can. There's actually a sword stuck directly through Kim Shin's chest. It's the same sword that killed him almost 1,000 years ago, and somehow it has remained inside his body ever since. Only Ji-eun can see it. Kim Shin knows exactly what the sword means. If Ji-eun really is the goblin's bride, she may be the only person who can pull it out, but there's something he hasn't told her. If she removes the sword, Kim Shin will finally die. So for now, he keeps the truth to himself. Meanwhile, the Grim Reaper is dealing with a strange mystery of his own. A mysterious woman dressed in red keeps appearing around him. Every time she shows up, she seems to guide him toward something important. This time, she leads him to a green ring. The Reaper wants to buy it, but before he can, a woman named Sunny suddenly takes it for herself. Sunny is confident, straightforward, and not afraid to say exactly what's on her mind. The Reaper doesn't argue with her. Instead, something strange happens. He suddenly starts crying. Just one tear rolls down his face. He doesn't even understand why. Sunny notices this and becomes curious about him. Instead of being scared, she gives him the ring. But she has one condition. He has to take her on a date. For someone who has lived for hundreds of years, the Grim Reaper knows almost nothing about love. He has no idea how to flirt, what to say, or even how to ask someone out. It takes him weeks just to gather enough courage to call Sunny. While the Grim Reaper is struggling with his new love life, Kim Shin and Ji-eun are also getting closer. Ji-eun starts to develop real feelings for him. She even tells him that she wants a boyfriend, but Kim Shin refuses. He keeps telling her that he can't be that person for her. Still, there's one thing he can't deny. Whenever Ji-eun calls him, he always comes running. No matter where he is, he can't ignore her. Eventually, Kim Shin decides to let Ji-eun move into his mansion, but there's a small problem. she ends up taking his bedroom. So Kim Shin has no choice but to move out and share a room with the Grim Reaper. And that's when their already strange house becomes even crazier. Instead of a peaceful home, it turns into a non-stop battle. They argue over breakfast. They get jealous over tiny things. Even something as simple as folding towels becomes a reason for them to fight. Kim Shin also starts acting ridiculous whenever Ji-eun gives the Grim Reaper more attention. At one point, he even starts talking dramatically about old Renaissance paintings just to get her attention back. It may look funny from the outside, but something serious is happening underneath all the jokes. Kim Shin is slowly falling for Ji-eun, and then he sees something that changes the way he thinks about their future. He has a vision of Ji-eun many years from now. She's older, successful, and living a happy life. She's even greeting someone she calls president. Seeing this, Kim Shin realizes something painful. Ji-eun is going to live a long and happy life, but he won't be there to see most of it, because sooner or later, his own story will end. Kim Shin finally decides that Ji-eun deserves to know the truth. He tells her about his past. He was once a powerful general who lived almost 1,000 years ago. He was killed and then cursed with eternal life. Since then, he's watched countless people he loved grow old and die. But Ji-eun doesn't see his immortality the way he does. To her, Kim Shin isn't a monster or a cursed man. She sees someone who has spent hundreds of years helping people and quietly protecting them. Her feelings for him only become stronger. Eventually, Kim Shin decides that the time has come. He takes Ji-eun to a beautiful field filled with flowers. Then he asks her to pull the sword from his chest. He knows that if she succeeds, he'll finally be free. Ji-eun agrees, but she has one condition of her own. She writes down a simple rule. She will only pull the sword when the first snow of the season arrives. Kim Shin doesn't want to wait, so he uses his powers to change the weather and make it snow right away. Ji-eun reaches for the sword and tries to pull it out, but something strange happens. Her hands pass straight through it. She can't grab it. It seems like Ji-eun isn't truly ready to free him yet, and somehow even fate seems to know that. Instead of pulling out the sword, the two of them get closer, and before either of them can think about what they're doing, they share their first kiss. For a while, their life starts to feel almost normal, but that doesn't last long. Ji-eun soon meets Tae-hee, a boy she knew when she was younger. Now he's a college baseball player. The two of them immediately get along, and Kim Shin doesn't like it at all. He becomes extremely jealous. His jealousy gets so bad that dark clouds start forming in the sky. Even the weather seems to change because of his anger. But jealousy is nothing compared to what happens next. One afternoon, Ji-eun hugs Kim Shin, and suddenly, Kim Shin feels a sharp and unbearable pain. At the same moment, Ji-eun realizes something shocking. She can finally touch the sword. She grabs it and pulls, and this time, it actually moves. But the moment she does, Kim Shin is in terrible pain. He reacts without thinking and pushes her away. But Ji-eun loses her balance and starts falling. Kim Shin quickly uses his powers to teleport after her and catch her, but the sudden move goes wrong. The two of them crash into a truck with a huge burst of energy. Luckily, they both survive. But that night, Kim Shin sees something that scares him more than anything before. He gets a vision of Ji-eun's future. He sees a terrible bus accident. The bus crashes, and 22 people die, and Ji-eun is one of them. The next morning, Kim Shin refuses to let that vision come true. He starts looking for every possible detail that could cause the accident. He remembers seeing a thief and a pair of socks in his vision, so he quickly buys every pair of socks from a nearby stall. His plan is simple. If the thief can't get the socks, he can't slip on them and cause the accident. But Kim Shin doesn't stop there. When the thief appears, he personally takes the socks away from him and makes sure the man can't cause any trouble. And somehow it works. The bus passes safely and Ji-eun survives, but the situation is far more serious than Kim Shin realizes. The Grim Reaper and several other Reapers had already been waiting for the people who were supposed to die in that accident. They were ready to collect almost 24 souls, but nobody arrives. The Reaper looks at Kim Shin and immediately understands what happened. Kim Shin has changed the future. He has stopped people from dying when they were supposed to, and that means he's breaking the rules that control life and death. Soon, someone far more powerful is going to notice. Not long after, the Grim Reaper is shown an old painting. The moment he sees it, he freezes. The painting shows Kim Shin's younger sister, the woman who was killed almost 1,000 years ago. The strange part is that the Reaper doesn't remember his past life. He doesn't even know why the painting affects him so much. But as soon as he looks at her face, he becomes overwhelmed with sadness. He can't explain where the pain is coming from. Meanwhile, Kim Shin meets the mysterious woman in red once again. This time, she finally reveals the truth. She is actually God, and she has something terrible to tell him. Ji-eun was never supposed to be born. Her life happened only because Kim Shin was saved and allowed to continue living. And as long as Kim Shin refuses to die, the balance of life will remain broken. That means the universe will keep trying to take Ji-eun's life, and each time, the danger will become worse. Ji-eun eventually learns the truth. She discovers that the only way to save her own life is for Kim Shin to die. She can't accept it. She loves him and refuses to let him sacrifice himself for her. So she tries to get away from him. She even takes a job in another city, hoping that putting some distance between them will keep Kim Shin safe. But fate doesn't care how far she runs. Danger follows her there too. No matter where Ji-eun goes, the same thing keeps happening. Finally, Kim Shin brings her back home. He knows that running away won't solve anything. While Kim Shin and Ji-eun are struggling with the impossible choice between love and death, something shocking happens to the Grim Reaper. During an awkward double date, Sunny suddenly grabs his hand, and the moment she touches him, something strange happens. A memory flashes through his mind. He sees Kim Shin's sister from 1,000 years ago, the same woman from the old painting. The Reaper starts wondering if Sunny could actually be her reincarnation, but he still doesn't know the truth. Then one day, the Reaper finally kisses Sunny, and that kiss unlocks everything. All of his lost memories suddenly come rushing back. He remembers who he really was. He wasn't always the Grim Reaper. 1,000 years ago, he was the king. The same king who became jealous of Kim Shin. The same king who ordered Kim Shin's soldiers to be killed. The same king who ordered the murder of Kim Shin's sister. He was responsible for destroying the lives of everyone Kim Shin loved. The truth completely breaks him. The Reaper knows he has to face Kim Shin, so he confesses everything. He tells Kim Shin that he was the king who caused all of his suffering. Kim Shin is furious. For a moment, it seems like he might finally kill the man who ruined his life, but he doesn't. Instead, Kim Shin tells him that death would be too easy. The Grim Reaper has to stay alive and remember everything he did. That pain will be his punishment. But the tragedy from 1,000 years ago isn't over yet. There's still one person from that time who refuses to disappear. His name is Park Jung-haeon. He was a cruel advisor who poisoned the king's mind and helped cause the entire massacre. After his death, he became a powerful and angry ghost. Instead of moving on, he stays in the world of the living, and now he wants revenge. His main target is Ji-eun. He keeps attacking her because he knows that hurting her is the best way to hurt Kim Shin. Then things become even worse. One day, Park Jung-haeon takes complete control of Ji-eun's body. She has no control over herself. The ghost forces her to walk toward Kim Shin. Then, using Ji-eun's own hands, he grabs the sword inside Kim Shin's chest. He starts pulling it out. Kim Shin is in terrible pain, but he can't fight back without hurting Ji-eun. Just when it looks like the sword is about to come out, the Grim Reaper arrives, and this time, he knows exactly what to do. After getting his old memories back, he finally remembers the ghost's real name, and that's extremely important. A Grim Reaper can destroy a powerful spirit by calling its true name, so he says the ghost's name out loud. The ghost is suddenly ripped out of Ji-eun's body. She is finally safe. With the ghost gone, Kim Shin knows what he has to do. He takes hold of the sword himself, then he pulls it completely out of his chest. The moment the sword comes free, it bursts into flames. Kim Shin uses the burning sword to destroy Park Jung-haeon once and for all, but now there's no reason for him to stay alive. Kim Shin turns to Ji-eun. He knows this is goodbye. Before leaving, he promises her that he will ask God for one more chance. He hopes that God will allow him to return to her when the first snow falls. Then he tells Ji-eun to stay strong. And finally, Kim Shin disappears. His death affects everyone around him, but something even stranger happens. All the memories of Kim Shin suddenly disappear from the minds of the people who knew him. Everyone forgets him. Everyone except Ji-eun. She desperately tries to hold on to whatever memories she still has. She grabs her notebook and starts writing down everything she can remember about Kim Shin. She writes his name, the moments they shared, and everything she can remember about their time together. She doesn't know how long the memories will last. Meanwhile, Kim Shin's soul is sent to a strange world covered in endless snow. He's completely alone. There is no one around him. All he can do is wait. He hopes that one day God will forgive him and give him another chance to return to Ji-eun. Years pass. Ji-eun grows into an adult and starts working at a radio station. Even though she has forgotten most of her past, there are still strange things she can't explain. She keeps wearing a necklace, but she has no idea where it came from. She also has an old notebook filled with strange words that don't make sense to her. Then her birthday arrives. Ji-eun blows out a candle and makes a simple wish, and suddenly, it starts snowing. At that exact moment, Kim Shin is brought back to the world. He appears right beside her, but there's a problem. Ji-eun doesn't recognize him. She has no idea who this strange man is. Kim Shin, however, remembers everything, and he's not willing to lose her again. So he slowly starts giving her clues. He shows her the same red leaves she once loved. He takes her to the restaurant where they shared memories together. He even leads her to a bench outside her hotel. Little by little, he tries to bring her memories back. But Kim Shin takes things even further. He buys the entire company where Ji-eun works. Now he's her boss. And this isn't just a random decision. He's recreating the exact future he once saw. The vision where Ji-eun would grow up, become successful, and one day turn around and call him president. The future he once thought he'd never live to see is finally happening. The more time Ji-eun spends with Kim Shin, the more strange memories begin to return. At first, they're only small pieces. A feeling, a place, a face she can't explain. Then she visits a grave with Kim Shin's name on it. She's completely confused. How can the man standing beside her look exactly like the person whose name is written on the grave? She doesn't understand what's happening. Then she holds one of her favorite leaves, and suddenly everything comes rushing back. She remembers Kim Shin. She remembers their first meeting. She remembers the mansion. She remembers their love. She remembers the sword. And most importantly, she remembers the day he disappeared. All the memories she had lost come back at once. Ji-eun starts running through the city, desperate to find him. Finally, she sees a candle. She lights it, blows it out, and makes one simple wish. She wishes for her boyfriend to appear. And just like before, Kim Shin appears right in front of her. This time, however, things are different. There is no ghost coming after them. No terrible accident is waiting for them, and no one is trying to tear them apart. They finally have another chance to be together. But not every love story gets a happy ending. Sunny still can't forget what the Grim Reaper did to her family hundreds of years ago. Even though he regrets everything, the pain is too deep. So Sunny decides to leave him. She tells him not to follow her. The Grim Reaper respects her choice. He lets her go and continues living his quiet life alone. But then Ji-eun faces one final tragedy. One day, she's driving when she suddenly notices a truck speeding toward a school bus filled with children. There isn't enough time to warn anyone. So Ji-eun makes a choice. She turns her car into the truck's path to protect the children. The crash happens instantly. Ji-eun dies. When the Grim Reaper arrives to take her soul, she has one final question. She asks him how many lives a person gets. The Reaper gives her an answer she never expected. This was only her first life. Ji-eun is going to be reborn again. Before she leaves, Kim Shin arrives to say goodbye. It's painful, but Ji-eun tells him not to be sad. She knows they will meet again. Then she crosses over. 30 years have passed. After everything he's done and all the suffering he's gone through, the Grim Reaper's punishment finally comes to an end. His sins have been paid for. Now he is finally free to leave. He chooses to cross over, and on the other side, he finds Sunny waiting for him. They are finally together again. Kim Shin continues living in the world of the living. He waits and hopes that one day, fate will give them another chance.